Alright, what you see here is a Dynasty hugger ceiling fan model CF-HA52. I got this 4 years ago at a thrift store for $9, brand new in a box. Came with everything you see here except for the light kit, the globe, and the lighter wood pull chain. This fan has cane blades on the other side. I'm showing it with the plain oak side. That's kind of noticed people that like seeing it without the cane. Or they saw more fans like this without cane as a kid, which would be me, for an example. Or they would see a lot more stencil, but I've seen a lot of fans without cane or stencil as a kid, so seeing it like this is also very childhood for me as well. So, yeah. Showing off this nice floral globe I got from Brandon a few years ago. I've had it for, I think it was like around the time I moved into this apartment, or like towards the end of that year. It was like after I came back from Fanimation, I think I got this. So, back in 2016, I was debating on putting this on the passport 2 in the kitchen. However, I liked what was on it a little bit better in terms of matching the other stuff that was in the room. And I also felt that this would look better on an antique brass fan due to the color schemes. And also I think I can save it for like testing purposes. So, yeah. Go ahead and show off the light. And a lot of people were commenting in the other video of it with just the cane blades that the fan needs to be tightened. The fan is not loose. It is actually tightened completely. It's just that the way this fan mounts, it just sways a lot. So it's kind of like with the Harvey Stress Higher, the older version, they had like a ball type mount for it, and it sways a lot. Same thing with this in a way. It's just that it's only a screw on each side that holds it in place, or like a bolt, which doesn't like. Well, in fact, once I end the video of all of them, I'll show it, but it is not loose, for those who are wondering. Maybe inside the vents you can kind of see, but there's like a bolt that holds it on each side, which is what causes it to sway so much like this. But as you can see, that's the fan jumping up and down where the bolts are. So, and I did use some pliers to tighten the bolts in, like not tighten, it's a wrench, tighten it all the way. Because it's the same way to make an air mount, so I use the same thing to tighten those when I installed that down here as a basement fan. So enough of that. Let me show them the lighting on this fan. Gives off a good amount of light. Again, it's only one light bulb in it, so it's not going to be extremely low amount. There's also this 60 watt LED bulb in there too. So yeah, let's go ahead and start off on the low speed. I was debating on putting just a plain globe on it or keeping this on it with the plain side of the blades. So, but I figured since it's more of a vintage fan, I might as well just keep it with the floral globe just to add to the vintage look to it. Plus, might as well give this globe some use since I've never really used it in any videos before. So not a fan I actually plan to use this globe on, but I just haven't gotten around to getting an antique brass fitter that would actually match it as well, because this one's more like a darker antique brass, which works well with this fan. However, the one I want to use it on, it's more of like it looks more too dark compared to the antique brass on that fan, so it would definitely be noticeable. Gives off a decent breeze on a low speed. I mean, again, this is not a high quality fan. Although a lot of people do prefer these generic huggers, think they actually have a lot of value, especially a lot of the kid collectors. In all reality, these fans are just budget type fans from back in the day. In a sense, they were basically like a Littleton or like a Walmart type fan from back then, except they aren't as bad as what you see in today's market. It's not the case of every single fan that's of this style. There are some of them that were actually better made. There are like some of them that actually have cast motors in them, so those are actually pretty powerful ones. Oh, this one right here is it's like an average fan. It's nothing, probably like maybe $50 new back in, or maybe even $30 in terms of like how much fans went back then. I know they were not as expensive as they are today, but that's also because the value of money back then was not as much as it is today, so you gotta take that into consideration. Show it with the light. But yeah, it's a nice classic fan I have in the collection. I plan to probably swap out my grandmother's Bahama with a fan like this. I think I might do a 5-blade one just so it matches what's in the kitchen now, since she has the Hampton Bay hugger there. Plus, it looks exactly like it. I was thinking about doing this one, but it's just since I've had this fan, well, since it's basically the first fan I've ever found out in the wild in terms of fan collecting. It's also my first no box fan I bought with my own money, and also the first vintage fan that I bought myself, like out in the wild, like not buying it from a collector. It's very sentimental to me for that reason. It's also kind of like when I really started to collect as a serious collector, not like getting fans occasionally throughout the years as a kid. So for that reason, I still have this fan around. And also, I do like the look of these type of fans, which is the other reason why I got it. All right, now I'll show it on medium. I mean, I did get the 2 Code Up Regencies at that thrift store as well. However, they were not really like as a collector purposes. They were actually more to like use them, which was the intention for both of them. Although one of them blew up on me basically, and it didn't physically blow up, but it just died on me while I was using it in the living room. And the other one we just never put up because we were supposed to be a dual install of them, but since the one of them failed, I never got to install that one. It's definitely something I can see like in a kitchen or a living room of an older 90s or 80s looking home. Even a bedroom or even like a man cave of some sort. Kind of, I don't know, it's just when I saw Brian's Alaska hugger in that basement, it really reminded me of like seeing a lot of living rooms from like back in the day. Like I drive by a lot of homes as a kid, see a lot of huggers like that, 4 or 5-blade ones in living rooms of light. So it just gives me an older living room vibe of some sort. Well, I have seen some homes with globes, schoolhouse globes on them too. So there's that as well. And also, check out Mark Wilson's channel, the fan page, as you see in this video, he's already uploaded a video of this fan on his channel since he came by to visit. It was one of those fans he brought over since I don't have any space for him at the moment. But as I'm still like in the process of clearing up the basement since it was a mess, and the landlord found out that they just told me just to I can still keep stuff down here. I just need to have it more organized. So in the meantime, I'm kind of like on a haul of stuff coming in. I don't know if it's already on the way here, but since this is what was installed on the test mount, not to make it air, I figured I might as well test this. So yeah, at first he actually thought it was his old Progress Riding Air Pro hugger, but then he saw as he got closer it was actually antique brass and not brushed nickel. In fact, I might actually have to get a silver brushed nickel fitter to put on that one if I test it again down here. I'm also going to use a low profile light that came with it. I think that looks nicer on it, but we'll see. Just also to have like a more modern look of a generic hugger with a schoolhouse globe with a modern finish. I think that would be very interesting to see. But yeah, this fan definitely moves a good amount of air for a hugger fan. Despite it being a very generic and average built fan, I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's like it's definitely better than like an Encon fan of some sort, but it's not like showroom type quality without a question. I mean, it's definitely not as bad as a Walmart fan, but like it's probably like an average like Home Depot type fan in terms of build quality from back then. Performance is decent. I mean, especially for a hugger, but it's actually not as bad as like a newer fan of this type. But it is a classic fan that I love that's in my collection, so it is not going anywhere for that reason. It's funny, Mark was saying that the globe, the poaching hitting the globe makes it sound like a metronome of some sort. Which I agree. I was thinking about extending it for the video, but I figured it's just for testing purposes. If it was like actually installed permanently, I would definitely extend it, just so it wouldn't bounce around like that and make that noise, because then it would be annoying after a while. But for testing purposes, it doesn't bother me. But yeah, it definitely does move good air for what it is. Probably didn't cost too much brand new, but I gotta say, it's for what it is. I'm actually surprised it performed as well as it does, considering that it's just a very average hugger fan in terms of build quality. So it definitely performs better than I expected it to, especially when I got it back then. I was surprised. Although I do have to say, just with it being tested on the mountain that it's on, in a basement with the exposed ceiling and such, it does kind of give it more of an advantage to push more air down, so it's not a completely accurate test of the performance, but from when I before tested it, it still performed it pretty well also, so there's that. But yeah, it's come to complete stop, so now let me show it on reverse. Out to white. It does have a bit of a hum latch. I forgot to mention it early in the video, but it is a generic hugger, and that is something that a lot of generic huggers are known for, is humming. And with me testing it a few times in the past, of course the blade arms aren't in the best alignment. Some of them are a little bit out of, I think there's only one that's out of alignment. So it wobbles more in reverse, obviously, because of it. Yeah, that spring on that pole chain is starting to give out a bit. Actually, I stole the pole chain from the white fitter I had on the Passport 2 before I took it down. The one that was, the brass matched it better. That's good. This is like one of those Hargreaves type, like it's a 3-in-1 thingy. So, and the one that it came with is more of a blackish chain, and I figured maybe use one that's more of a brass hook on it. It does a good job on reverse, but I'm not trying to. I really don't like to keep the fans on reverse too long down here, especially on the high speed, because it just kicks around the dust from the ceiling. And yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.